Hello, Read 585, and welcome to week 13 of your online course instruction. I am Heather Brandon, your course instructor, and this is the first part in our two-part lectures for the week. In this part, I will be going over upcoming assignments, specifically talking about how to submit your assignment for staff development presentation. Let's get started with some good news. Sadly, there is not any good news from amongst your cohort, so you are going to get to hear some of my good news. But just a reminder that if you have anything to celebrate or share with us, please email that to me now. I am running out of good news to share. I recently had a grading marathon, as you probably observed, so I'm all caught up with grades and I'm celebrating that fact. And I'm headed to California for my spring break from my school to see my 80-year-old granny, get a pedicure with her, so that should be a fun time. So if you have anything to share, please send it my way. All right, let's review some of the assignment deadlines. Assignment number 4, which is the staff PD presentation, that is due April 26th. In a minute, I will show you the 2 things you need to do in order to successfully submit it. Assignment number 2 is your final drafts of the resume, cover letter, and thank you letter. Those are due May 3rd, or you can submit them now and get that crossed off your list in week 12. I provided you with the link to submit those, so feel free to get those turned in at any time. And then the last key assignment is assignment number 5, the coaching activity. That is due May 17th, and I will be explaining the logistics for that assignment next week, week 14. Upcoming assignments for this week, again, it's just readings and working on your staff development presentation. This week there are 2 readings. The first is Chapter 9 from the National Staff Development Council's publication of Designing Powerful Professional Development. Chapter 9 is on the focusing teacher development on student learning, and it gives you 3 new dimensions to look at when developing staff development, so keep those in mind as you begin work on your presentations. This article is pretty brief, about 6 pages or so not a lot there. And then the second article is from the reading teacher. It's from Douglas Fisher and Nancy Frey, and it gives you a case study model, if you will, to look at for doing school-wide literacy improvement. So both of those great things to read and apply as you work on your own staff professional development. Again, this week we will not have a participation activity so that you can focus your efforts and time on your staff development presentation and those other assignments and looming deadlines. So nothing formally due this week, but you should be working on assignment number 4, and if you want to submit your documents for assignment 2, feel free to do that. All right, speaking of assignment number 4, I went over some suggestions for tackling that last week, and I also reviewed the different pieces within your role and gave you some suggested time allotments. Again, remember this is 20 to 30 minutes max, so you really need to prioritize and get to the meat or the instruction part of the presentation. So in order to submit assignment number 4 successfully, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, you submit the presentation, so the PowerPoint file or whatever format it's in without the narration, using the link on Titanium in week 13. And then you need to submit the narrated presentation link or links on our course wiki. So if you are using Screencast-O-Matic and you are doing the free subscription, you have a 15-minute time limit. So it is likely that you will need to submit your presentation in 2 parts on the wiki. If you upgrade for $5 to the Pro edition, you get more functionality with editing the file and other fun features. However, it is $5, but then you can record an unlimited amount. I think it's 8 hours, up to 8 hours, which you definitely should not be doing 8-hour presentations. So it might be worth doing that, and then you can just submit one link. Either or is fine. So let me just briefly show you how to submit using the course wiki. So actually, first let me show you when week 13 is posted. Here is the submission link for that. And then back in week 12, here's the assignment link for submitting those professional documents. All right, let's take a look at the course wiki, and let me reduce the size of this so you can see everything. All right, you'll notice that I recently updated this. Here are the directions for how to submit the staff development presentation. Basically over here, you should have an add page option. My view might look a little bit different than yours, but there should be an add page icon here, or sometimes somewhere over here. So you want to go ahead and do an add page. And the title of your page is just going to be your first and then last name, and then you will create it in Home is Fine. Alright, so this is the Heather Brandon page. You are going to next need to give a brief description here of what your professional development is about and the targeted audience. So learn about cooperative learning structures and how they increase student discourse with this 20-minute interactive presentation designed for K-5 teachers. So please explain the topic and the intended audience, and then you are going to insert your links, www.YouTube or Screencast-O-Matic or whatever, Heather Brandon Co-op. Okay, you'll just copy paste the link there, and if you want to put any information above that, you can feel free. Don't forget to hit save, and there your page will be over here. And that way, in a few weeks, week 16, when you will be viewing the presentations of 2 others, they will be able to go to your page and then see the topic of your presentation and whether or not they would fall in the intended audience. And then they can go down and discuss your presentation here. So that will be in week 16. You will be watching 2 other presentations and providing feedback there. So again, if you need the directions, it's all right here. Add page, turn the editing on, write a brief description of your PD and the intended audience, post the links, hit save, celebrate, you submitted your assignment, and then week 16, we will be back to look at those. All right, that's all I have to share with you in part 1, so join me back for part 2 where we discuss approaches to professional development.